May I have your first name, please?
First name's Ilya.
And your last name?
Last name Ivanov.
And you're a platoon leader for which platoon, sir?
I'm a company executive officer for Charlie Company 218. Я заместитель командира Charlie Company, Charlie рота, второго полка, 2-го батальона 18-го полка.
Sir, where's your hometown in the States?
My hometown is in Kima, Texas. It's right south of Houston.
And I understand you were born in Russia, sir?
Yes, I was born in Vladivostok, Russia.
And when did your family come to the United States?
They moved to the United States in 1996.
And how does it feel to be, is this kind of like a homecoming for you, sir? Or going back, how does it feel to be going back to Russia?
I'm excited to be there, you know. I enjoy the Russian food and seeing similar sights. I've been there before several times, so for me it's kind of an old stomping ground, so to say.
And how does it feel to be among the first U.S. soldiers to be marching in Red Square by invitation?
Oh, it feels great. I mean, the atmosphere here is, it's very energized, and everybody's really excited to be there, at least from our unit.
And since you're the expert on Russia, what have you been teaching the soldiers about Russia, about what to expect?
Oh, we talked a little about its history, and particularly in Moscow, and how great the sacrifice this war was for the Russian people. So they understand its magnitude, and they kind of see it from the Russian perspective, I think a little better than they did a few weeks ago.
And what do you hope these guys learn while they're in Russia?
I just hope they see, you know, a different side of Russia that they might have thought about or heard about, the scary stories before from the Cold War era, that Russian people are open to friendships and hopefully lasting friendships, and they'll just see them as people and not as somebody that history tells them that they are. Sorry.
I understand your grandfather served during the Great Patriotic War?
He did.
Which front, sir?
He served in Smolensk front in 43.
In 43?
Yes.
And what do you think, if you and he could talk, what do you think you and he would talk about the day after? Let's say next week you and your grandfather had a chance to talk. What do you think you and he would talk about?
Well, to answer that question, I think we were on a similar level. We're both infantry officers. He was a platoon commander, so to say. I was a platoon leader, you know, which is virtually the same job. So we would talk about, when it comes down to it, you don't talk politics, but you talk about the friendships you develop as you serve in a particular unit, because virtually it comes down to that person to the left and the right, that you execute a certain mission. Whatever is given to you, you still have to go out there and do what needs to be done in order to serve your country. So we would just talk about little things versus the big picture, I guess, which would be political situation.
If you had a chance to, hopefully you will, you kick back with a fellow infantry officer from the Russian Army, what do you think you and he would talk about?
Oh, I'm sure they would brag a lot about their capabilities as far as they can, you know, drop tanks with people in them out of planes, which I'm sure would have some good time, and just talk about equipment and the hardships sometimes and the fun parts of infantry life.
Do you have any friends in Moscow that you might have a chance to see, or?
I've made several friends there this past 2 weeks while I was in Moscow, doing kind of giving a look over where we're going to be living and sort of lining up certain logistical obligations that we had to accomplish before going to Moscow. So I did make some friends, and I hope to see them.
And what are some of the things that the soldiers will be seeing when they get to Moscow?
They'll be seeing a variety of cultural events, to include Russian circus, Tretyakover Art Gallery, the Red Square, the Kremlin, the St. Basil Cathedral, Lenin's Tomb, and majority of other venues.
And are you going to be the official guide, or are you the?
I'm going to take a sort of say a backseat on the whole guide thing, but I will answer any questions that they have because I'm very open and I want to teach them something about history. But I think the guides are provided as part of the tour package.
And 10 years from now, or 20 years from now, what are you going to tell your grandchildren about this mission, sir?
Oh, well, hopefully I'll show them some pictures and sit back and just tell them about this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to wear this American uniform on the Red Square and be a part of something that commemorates and remembers sacrifices both on the Allies, Soviets, American, all sorts of sides as we were fighting the Nazi tyranny.